Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. I'm very excited about this video because this Android phone has a keyboard, and this is the Blackberry Key2, which is following last year's Key 1. And I also think they have made necessary improvements to this model from the previous model. So very excited to check it out. If you guys didn't know, one of my first Android phones actually had a slide-out keyboard. So I've always had a soft spot for phones with a keyboard, and I just prefer the tactile feedback you get from physical buttons. With that being said, I want to go ahead and open this guy up, quickly show you what comes in the box, also give some first impressions and a closer look at the phone. Let's get started. Here is the Key 2 from Blackberry. I have the Key 1 as well. I will do a quick comparison in just a second, but here's a look at some of the specs. 64 gigs of internal storage and 6 gigs of RAM and a 3500 milliamp hour battery. Also a 1620 by 1080 4.5-inch IPS display. So sliding this open real quick, I would like to show you what comes in the box, and then we will check out the device itself. So, greeted with the phone right away. Very nice. You'll see there are some stickers on it, micro SD and SIM card slot, so there is expandable storage. You can actually peel this guy off the back. With a similar rubbery texture. It's not quite as grippy as rubber, but there is a texture to it, and it is a softer touch feel to it. And then flipping it over, you will see this is BlackBerry signature, I believe, D-Tech security logo. We can peel that one off as well. And on the right side here, you have a couple different buttons. We'll take a closer look in just a second, but I do want to power this on. So while that boots up, let's see what else is going on in the box here. Opening this up, looks like we're going to have some booklets, a SIM card ejection, and micro SD card. Setting this aside, welcome to your new Android smartphone quick start guide. A bunch of booklets, that's about it there. Then you have your AC adapter with the BlackBerry logo. Setting that aside, really nice addition, and I will say, I really enjoy the headphones from the previous Key 1, so I'm actually excited to try these out as well. Awesome that they do include headphones, and hey look, these headphones have a 3.5mm headphone jack because this phone has a 3.5mm headphone jack as well, and then it does have a USB Type-A to USB Type-C cable for charging and data transfer. So overall, a similar design to the Key 1, but there were some necessary improvements made, which I'll point out in just a second. But taking a close look, here is that signature keyboard that just about no other Android phone has. Down at the bottom here, you do have speaker grill, USB-C for charging. On the right side is where all of the buttons are. And during this close-up, make sure to note this texture, which is nice because you can easily differentiate between these two buttons, and I think there's enough space where my thumb rests on the power button, so I know that I kind of have to adjust it to get to this convenience key down below. Volume rockers up and down as well. Moving along, microphone, headphone jack up the top. On the side is where the SIM slot and micro SD card slot is. Nice looking aluminum build, very premium feeling device. On the back, you have dual 12 megapixel cameras. Both are 12 megapixel lenses, LED flash. There's that BlackBerry logo, and that's just about it. And then, of course, on the front here, you do have some capacitive buttons, back, home, and recent. And up at the top, 8 megapixel front-facing camera, earpiece, some sensors. So now I will run through the setup process, only talk about anything that is noteworthy. So let's set up the fingerprint scanner, and yes, there is a fingerprint scanner built in to the space bar on this keyboard, and I will say, after looking at this keyboard, it is definitely larger than the Key 1's keyboard, and a little bit different texture as well. But now we will set up the fingerprint scanner right here. Just go ahead and lift my thumb up and set it down, and I will test this in just a second to see if you can just rest it without pressing the space bar to unlock it, or if you actually have to press the space bar, which wouldn't be that big of a deal either. Anyways, I can add another. I'm not going to for time's sake. I will agree. Anything else? Not at the time. All right, so we are now on the home launcher. You have pop-up widgets. This is the BlackBerry launcher, their custom launcher over Android. You have a productivity tab to the right. You have an app button, universal shortcut key as well, which allows you to actually go ahead and press the shortcut key, which is the key here with the 6 dots, and then press another one to quickly swap or go into a specific app, which you can customize. So I will test those out in just a second. Actually, you know what? Let's test. No, not yet. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. As always, I would like to jump into settings and then go ahead and go into storage. So you guys can see out of the 64 gigs how much storage is used. So you'll see here 17% of the storage is actually used. So 10.5 gigs out of that 64 gigs. But of course, you can expand it with a micro SD card if necessary. So now let's test out the shortcut key. So you'll see new keyboard extension, quick modes, and slide board. I'm just going to press T. I don't actually know what that shortcut is, but you can assign them to be an app, send a message, all shortcuts, home screen shortcuts. I'm just going to press letters, see if there's any that are actually assigned. But if I go ahead and do that with C, I'm going to say open app. Let's go ahead and say camera. Why not? So shortcut saved. There we go. Quick tap on C. The camera app opens up. So welcome to the Blackberry camera. Take a picture or video. Dual camera on the back. Smooth zoom effects with 2 lenses. Locker mode function allows you to take a picture or record a video by touching the fingerprint sensor in the camera, which is nice. Actually, the Key 1 had that option as well. I'm going to say, okay, got it. I do not want to turn on location data at the moment. And let's go ahead and just touch the fingerprint scanner. I don't actually press the space bar, and that can actually take a picture, which I do like. I like that option. It's not something you really accidentally ever do. Shutter speed seems quick. That exposure control seems very good. Excited to try out this camera. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I will probably post some pictures I take with this phone. And as promised, here's a side-by-side look at the Key 1 and the Key 2, especially a close-up of the differences in the keyboard. You will see the keys are larger, which is a welcome addition for sure. Also, the Key 1's keys had a bit of a plastic coating, whereas there is really no plastic coating on the Key 2. I really do like the feel a little bit better. I think it's a nice welcome addition to the keyboard on the Key 2. Also, of course, the only button that really got switched is that shift key on the far right side. Got switched with that quick shortcut key, which is nice. There's already a shift key on the left, no need for 2. And on the right side, the power button is there on the Key 2, whereas it was on the far left side on the Key 1. So that's a bit of a difference. Design-wise, very similar, a little different feeling, a little more rounded with the Key 1. Also, of course, the welcome addition of a dual camera system versus just a single camera. I'm also noticing the background is changing every time I go to my lock screen, which is really neat. I like that addition, mixes things up. Now let's test out that fingerprint scanner. I'm just going to set my finger down. You saw that was very quick. Now I want to try it. I will not press the space bar. Set it down and it unlocks. You do not need to actually press that space bar. And none of these keys will actually light up the screen, which is nice because you might press them in your pocket, etc. But it does have a double tap to wake option, so it double taps to open up the display. You can set your thumb down, check those notifications, and you're good to go. Seems quick, seems snappy. Now, a lot more to come on this device in my full review, so make sure you click that subscribe button. But let's go ahead and swipe over to this tab. You can swipe over at any time, and you can customize what specific shortcuts there are, whether it's your events, settings, widgets, swipe back when finished, or maybe even contacts as well. Also, pop-up widgets with your home icon. Some of them have them where you swipe up on the icon and quickly get into those widgets. So it kind of eliminates the need to have those widgets on your home screen. We can just swipe up to access them. I'm also noticing a little different when you press the recent apps. It has a bit of a different option, but you can actually change these in settings to go back to where when they're like stock Android. An interesting addition is Blackberry Privacy Shade, where you can prevent people around you from seeing your screen. Swiping over, you're turning Privacy Shade on and off from anywhere. Tap the notification in the notification tray. You can add it to quick settings as well. Also, they have a privacy shade, allows you to hide private or sensitive information from your screen before you share screenshots as well. So a nice welcome addition. So it says drag the eye to move the area. Try it now. So here you go. Whether you're reading a long email or maybe an article, looks like you can just go ahead and slowly only highlight specific areas if you'd like to. Double tap to resize it. So you'll see here it is 3 different sizes settings, or you can go ahead and hop into the three dots, and you have other various settings. Now, one way to get out of this is use 3 fingers and swipe down, and that will actually activate it as well. So a nice little shortcut. There's that 3-finger privacy shade gesture as well. And then, of course, the convenience key in the bottom right here. You can quickly access up to 3 shortcuts, 3 advanced profiles. You just press it down in the bottom right here and access those shortcuts. I also would like to test out the keyboard real quick. Also, jumping into the app drawer, here's a look at all of the apps that they do have. BlackBerry has added some of their own: Password Keeper, Privacy Shade, Redactor, things like that. And of course, the Google Sweep. It really doesn't look like any bloatware other than the added apps from BlackBerry. Let's jump into the Notes app, though. I will grant permissions for it. And here we go. So let's go ahead and type a note with, of course, the BlackBerry keyboard. So we say, hey there, thank you for watching. This is going to take a little bit of time. It's also a very bad angle for me. I can go ahead and press enter a couple times. You'll see you do have some suggestions on the screen, the display itself. Alt will get you to the buttons that are in the backdrop, so maybe your numbers or your symbols. You can also press the symbols key and it will pop up a soft keyboard for you there. And you can have 2 keyboards open at once, as you can see, which actually both work if you press them both at the same time. I'm not sure why you would want to do that, but that is an option there. But if I want to say the quick brown fox, quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. So definitely a lot of errors actually when I'm first attempting that out. Let's see, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy fig. So I just messed up the last one, but I did have some typos, but I believe the word correction is very good with this keyboard. So we will test it out more. It will take at least a couple days for me to kind of get used to having a physical keyboard again. So pretty excited about that. More impressions to come on the keyboard on the Blackberry Key 2. Now, there is a lot more I'd like to get into for the Blackberry Key 2, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to click that subscribe button. Hopefully you enjoyed the unboxing video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Excited to try this out. I expect battery life to be excellent. Also a performance boost with that Snapdragon 660 processor. So we will see. Again, hopefully you enjoyed the video. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.